Guanyu Zhou is the best thing to happen to Formula One since Lewis Hamilton.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus.
On a serious note, Guanyu Zhou completes the grid ahead of the 2022 Formula 1 season. He comes in as a runner-up of the F2 season just gone and will now partner the vastly experienced and multi-Grand Prix winner Valteri Bottas at Alfa Romeo. Now, there's several key points to consider when highlighting the significance of this move. The first is the heritage that Zhou brings in being a Chinese national, which places him in a very sought-after position as the first Chinese racing driver in Formula 1 history. Now this is quite surprising, as even I had to research this when creating this video. The People's Republic of China only has one Grand Prix driver. In 2022, the most populous country in the world, the straight up jackhammer of athletes at the Olympics, has only just registered its first driver. Now if that doesn't scream high barriers to entry, then I don't know what does. Now admittedly, China suffers from the same kinds of barriers as other Asian countries, where the interest just isn't typically there, and well, like many drivers from that region, they often have to move west to European countries for a chance to race alongside future drivers. Especially among the junior ranks, with so much competition, it's just difficult to really emerge on top of other racers. But China has run a Grand Prix since 2004, with only 2020 and 2021 being missed out due to the coronavirus pandemic. So I guess this is a big deal that we now have a Grand Prix driver, and with a full race at Shanghai set to return in 2023, we can expect to see big numbers and big sponsorships. And we all know that Chase Carey loves big numbers.
Like Netflix.
And the fans themselves have been screaming for this track to make a reappearance on the grid. This and Malaysia alike are both very respected racing circuits, and now that we have a local hero in the track, well, the fans are just gonna go bananas. F1 hopes the entry of Zhou into the series will spark a revolution of young and upcoming drivers from China. This is always a good thing because, like many industries, breaking into the Chinese market can have a dramatic and lasting economic prosperity, and for a money sport like this, well damn, that's huge. Formula 1 since the Eccleston era has been trying to infuse the top speed of motorsport into Chinese culture for decades, and you can say that much of his efforts has played a massive role into getting drivers like Zhou involved in the circus. And more diversity equals better sport. F1 is looking to get another track in Asia on the grid, and with question marks still over India's Bud International Circuit, we could see another track in China, just like how the US will host both the Texas and the Miami Grand Prix in 2022. But this can only happen if there is demand. Can Guanyu's presence create demand? Now, hear me out here, because things are about to get messy. Really messy. Like, seriously crazy really messy. Alfa Romeo will realistically keep Guanyu Zhou for 2 years, despite there only being a 1-year deal in place. I'm sure with the backing that he has, this shouldn't be a problem. Now, because he's a Renault/Alpine driver at heart, and with Ocon's scheduled contract to end by the end of 2024, haha, you've guessed it, Guanyu is gonna say a massive you to Esteban. Alpine is expected to be quick under the regulation changes. We thought that the midfield battle in 2021 was sick. Mate, this midfield battle is about to go in overdrive over the next few years. And guess which pensioner is in the other Alpine? Good old Grandpa Fernando, and he's probably the best person to team up with. Except if you're this guy. But actually, let's digress for a second because I just need to get this off my chest. If Fernando wasn't there at McLaren in Hamilton's first year in Formula 1, I just don't think Lewis would have been as competitive, i.e. Alonso brought the best out of Hamilton's performances. Yeah, how about that? Put some respect on his goddamn name. But why do I think Ocon is more likely to go than Alonso? Well, Alonso has a bigger role to play in Alpine's longer term plan. For Alpine, it's a bigger than Formula 1, as they have the World Endurance Championship to worry about. The likes of VW Group's Porsche and Audi are likely to threaten Formula 1 entry in the next couple of years, and Alpine must do everything under their belt to stop them from outperforming them when they do arrive. The substantial knowledge that Fernando has accumulated far outweighs any driver on the grid, including Hamilton, so there is no bigger asset to 10 race teams right now than there is than Mr. Wide-Faced himself. But let's bring it back to Zhou. The learning curve that he's going to meet will be substantial, jumping between teams and racing categories, and for some weird reason, I just feel like at such an early stage the path is laid for Guanyu, and it's a far more structured path than other drivers. The possibilities surrounding his entry into Formula 1 are far more widespread than other races. Now, I'm not saying he'll win a title, he just needs to be consistently in the mix in the midfield and at the top end of the grid. This will help push the narrative of F1's weird obsession of British bias to the east, and that has far bigger long-term influence on Grand Prix racing than any multi-trophy champion. The rest will be down to Formula 1 gods. I mean, I could be wrong, but hey ho, this is just a prediction anyways. So there you have it, guys and girls. What are your predictions on Guanyu Zhou's maiden year in Formula 1? Could it play a pivotal role in shaping the direction of Formula 1 in the many years to come? As always, leave your comments down below, and if you're new to the channel, please do consider subscribing, as it will keep you in the loop, and whenever I do upload a video, you'll get a notification straight to your phone. I'll also be collaborating with some of your favourite F1 content creators this year, so watch this space. Peace!